What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. A little bit late to the costume party, but I wanted to run a map here and use some defenses from one of my favorite costumes in the game, the Depth Lord, for the Abyss Lord. I absolutely love this one. I think the theme of it is absolutely wonderful and fits just perfectly with the Abyss Lord character. So definitely one of my favorites. We're going to focus on, we're going to use some orc blockades here. I got automation, juggernaut, and auto repair system with accumulator hardened and defense rate. We're going to throw a few ramsters in the mix using destruction, power transfer, mass destruction with anti-melee, anti-chaos, and defense rate. And we're going to get some archers in there, double tap, mass destruction, and destruction with anti-melee piercer and defense rate. Now, let's go ahead and start things off here. I actually wanted to do all skeleton archer build here, but like you got a great spot right here. You could just put a huge string of skeleton archers. It actually clears the map, but you get a lot of missed opportunities in this lane. You've got this wide open area here right as the enemies come out of this lane where you can spawn camp. But if you have your archers stretched right across here, all of the projectiles are just going to slap into that little ledge. Something that I personally wish was changed with the Abyss Lord, where like the ballistas have that anti-clipping feature. To be honest with you, I would like to see that with every projectile-based defense in the game. It would just be awesome. So, like in this situation, you would lose all of those archer shots into that lane right there. So with that in mind, we are going to give a little upfront killing, although we will have some last resort in play for our archers as well. We're going to start things off up here with a reflect beam because the little gobus do like to stop and throw up here at any defenses you have in. And we're just going to throw a buff beam down as well. Now here for this lane, we're just going to throw a couple of ramsters here. I think I've done this before on this map, but it's just a great little ledge for spawn camp in this lane. The ramsters, although visually you won't see them hit down here, they actually do hit far below right there. All right, now let's go ahead and move on along. Let's get some archers down. So we are going to really spam it up with archers, and we're basically just splitting the entire map with the different sides of the archers. You get an opportunity here to really let those archers shine, and they're going to hit every lane. So enemies that approach here are going to get slapped. Enemies that approach here are going to get slapped. Enemies that approach here are going to get slapped. So lots of slapping going on. These guys are going to get their shots off. There's just no doubt about it. Let's go ahead and go one more here. And I'm not sure how the DU is going to work out. So let's go ahead and get some of our blockades down. Now I'm building these blockades back a little bit, not in the ideal choke, because I want the enemies to have to come forward and be well into range of our archers there. We're going to do the same thing like right here. I'm going to go back just a little bit with it. Now, one thing about these archer spam builds, archers hit hard. Their single target damage is really, really good. It's not the highest in the game, but it is very, very effective single target damage. Additionally, all of the archers can hit one enemy. So if like an ogre comes down here, it's just going to get absolutely annihilated, as all of these archers are just going to destroy, absolutely destroy. All right, looks like we got enough for, what do we need? We still need a buff beam. Additionally, we need a little destructive pylon down. Let's get our pylons in. That's going to leave me 130. So what can we do with the 130? Well, we can go with, let's go with another archer, say, here. It's at 710. Actually, this is going to work out perfect. And another archer there. So that's, 2, 4, 6, 8. We got 10 archers down here. We'll slap all of those onto a buff beam. And That's going to leave us 10 DU left over. We'll just let that 10 DU fly. I would kind of like to get a reflect beam right here, but we're going to see how it runs without it. Now, one of the benefits of a build like this, too, is the majority of the power in the lane is coming from one stack of towers. With that in mind, it makes it perfect for tower boosting. So let's just go ahead and boost it out, and we'll let this fly here. These guys have pretty good range, too. Their range is not crazy spectacular, but they've got acceptable range, no doubt, and they just hit like a truck. There you see we're losing all of the projectiles, or most of the projectiles anyway, on this side into that little ledge right there. So that's kind of the reason we didn't go full archers. You see the ramsters are still getting their shots off, though. So although visually it's hitting far above all the enemies, it is doing damage to the enemies. Yeah, you see our piles of mana. Most of those enemies are getting burned right there. Now, as I mentioned, the archers can all hit one target. So it means that it's just machine gun fire. They're just going to drill down anything that's there when you've got this many archers. So we've got, what, 10 archers going here. So that's 10 arrows all pounding into one enemy if there's only one enemy there, like this chieftain right here. The second the chieftain's bubble is on, that enemy is going to be dead. So, really pretty good stuff with the archers. They've got decent range. They do hit hard. They've got the dual sides, so they're hitting out of both sides. And you can get pretty effective usage out of them. Now, as I mentioned, it's definitely not like the best defense in the game. It's not, you know, the best damage per DU spent. It's not the best overall effectiveness. But they are plenty strong enough for you to use them. And thematically, they're pretty cool. So, if you like playing on the Abyss Lord, you're definitely going to get some archer play in. Now, let's throw an upgrade on each one of these walls. And then we'll just spam it all into our archers here. That should be good. We'll let it fly. I could throw some upgrades on those ramsters, but the ramsters, of course, being a little bit more expensive, we're not getting most upgrade value out of them. Oh, wow. It just completely one-taps that that Zerker there. And I tell you, if the archers could get over this lip, you know, you wouldn't need the ramsters. You could go, what, 2 more archers down here, and have some leftover DU for things like reflect beam. Just absolutely incredible. But it is what it is. Now, you could put them here on this ledge like you would with like railguns to kind of keep them elevated. And then, of course, they would slap into that lane. However, you know, that's really eating into their range quite a bit, no doubt. Red Bones just getting slapped by those archers. Big damage there. Really, the only thing you have to fear in a build like this is the chieftain. Now, you know, of course, we've got the walls in place to deal with the chieftain. But if a chieftain walks past, then, of course, we could have some problems. But the benefit we have is it's just so much damage in a short period of time. So as long as the chieftain's immunity is gone, they are just going to evaporate. There's no doubt there. How are we doing on the flyers? Yeah, same thing there. I mean, the flyers just get smacked just constantly. Let me take a look at those one time here. Yeah, the ramsters are actually, I forgot that the D cost changed. That's why I wanted to check. They're actually the same cost as the archers now, too. at 40D. Now, you're still not getting a bunch of upgrade value out of them. What we got, like 300,000, a little 300,000 and change of a DPS increase for the upgrade. So not absolutely huge for sure. Of course, the benefit there being they do hit 10 targets. So it's got that AoE targeting limit to it, but 10 targets is a lot of targets, particularly being, you know, there's not going to be a lot of opportunities. But yeah, you actually get the same. So I'm going to have to check the upgrades there. In fact, you know what? Let's do that right now. Let me go ahead and sell an archer and put it down. Is it the same upgrade value? It should be, because they're the same DU cost. But I'm not certain that all of that got dialed in. Let's just sell that one. We'll replace it. Let's wait a second and let it get its buffs and everything all in. And let's see. Showing 5.2 million, 5.22 because of my hero buff there. You actually are getting quite a bit more value, upgrade value out of the archers still, even though they're still the same cost. I'll look at that as far as an actual percentage goes, but kind of habit that you don't bother upgrading your hamsters unless you just have nothing else on the map to upgrade. And it appears like even though their DU costs were adjusted, that may still be true. As far as a percentage goes, it might actually be very similar. Of course, upgrade values, what you get out of them, is based off of the DU that the defense costs. So, you know, a DU that's super expensive to throw down, or a defense that's super expensive to throw down, is going to get the smallest upgrade value. And kind of the thought behind that is if you have more expensive defenses, you're going to have like half as many total defenses. So it's going to be easier for you to get them fully upgraded to tier 5, where, you know, say you were spamming a bunch of 20 DU defenses around the map, it's going to be really, really expensive for you to get all of those upgraded because there's just so many of them. So you get more, you know, more value per upgrade. One of the things that makes things like the explosive trap so powerful, 20 DU hits really, really hard. Plus, then has that enormous 20 DU upgrade value. Yeah, man, they just drill it. Absolutely drill it. It's damn near a laser beam because there's so many archers, so many arrows flying. Bosses just burn down like they're absolutely nothing. I hopped on this character to boost, and I'm not doing a whole lot of boosting. Not doing a whole lot of boosting. Let's go ahead and get a couple of upgrades there. I don't think we really even need to bother with any more upgrades, so I'm just going to let it fly here. We'll get wave 4 and 5 knocked out. Now, of course, this map, you're going to get the stat reroll tokens, which not quite as valuable as the mod reroll tokens, but definitely something you'll still use. So a useful crafting material for sure. And then additionally, we've got that the seahorse pet, sea dragon pet, I should say. That is a rare drop on the map. Such a iconic pet from DD1. Ooh, what do we have there? Yeah, somebody take a pot shot from over here. Is that what that was? I think that may have been a hex thrower from up here. Oh no. Okay, I was going to say if the cannon ogre shoots at the core, I'm done for. Thinking that is what that was, though, was a hex thrower. In fact, I mean, I feel like I'd be better off just selling off an archer and putting a reflect beam there. Get some more boosting going on here to burn out these last 120. I'm not sure what that was. Either a dive bombing flyer or a hex thrower or javelin thrower from this lane. But I wasn't watching. So I'm not really sure where that core damage came from. Right, so we got a Plaguing Hawk and Quibbly. They're just both going to get annihilated as soon as they get into range. Now, the Plaguing Hawk is going to take about 17 years to make it all the way down in range, of course. Quibs just got smoked. The flyers look like they're all getting handled pretty well. But I'm not sure if that was a dive bombing flyer or if it was that javelin thrower. I do feel like it would be a good choice, even though we're coming up on the final wave. I think that would be a good choice to get that reflect in, just in case. Don't want to lose the map here after we're this far in. A little early on the buff there, but you see what they end up doing to the Plaguing Hawk. It's just absurd. All right, so we sell one of those. That's going to free up a ton of DU. And we can get some core protection in here. Actually, got enough DU left there, and that leaves another 20. I mean, what do we want to do with 20? We can always throw, like, a Frost Strike Aura in, like right here, just to help with those flyers. Yeah, let's let it fly. I think should go pretty smoothly, but I feel like it's definitely a good thing having that reflect beam there. Like I said, I'm not positive where that damage came from, but I think it's got to be one of two things, either the dive bomber or a javelin or hex thrower. If anything throws down here this time. Got little range go-boos. Where's the Warlord at? Oh, there comes the Warlord now. Got his buff going, but yeah, he's done for as soon as that pops. I'm not seeing any javelin throwers or anything up here. So I'm not super sure what that is. I'll probably see when I go back and edit the video here. But yeah, not positive as to what that is. Alright, and then we got a roller. We've got already dead there on that mini-boss. The roller, of course, is doing its thing and moving in slow motion here. It will make it out eventually. I think that's out far enough. We can just go ahead and murderize that one. We still got a Shaper. Is it out of range? No, it looks like it got hit. Then everything else is just going to burn out. Now, of course, this map is just great for turtle build. It's a relatively small map, and allows you to just do a massive build right at the core. However, the downside of it is, even though it is a relatively small map, the lanes are fairly long. They wrap around a good ways, so it does take a little while for the enemies to get to you if you turtle it out. Making the map run much slower, but still a super fun map to run. I still feel like this is one of the better maps that have arrived in Dungeon Defenders 2 over the last couple of years. Definitely a good one, that is for sure. Got one hex thrower up here out of range. Get that guy slapped, and then we've got what? A plaguing hawk and all of the birds. So that frost strike made a pretty massive difference for the flyers here. They're just all getting taken out. And then we've got our plaguing hawk. Wait it out on the plaguing hawk and see how fast it dies. Actually, the frost strike aura is going to end up slow rolling it even more. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and take it out here. Sorry, Mr. Hawk, but we don't have time for all that. But there we go. Weird how the music cuts off right there like that. But yeah, very, very nice. That is Chaos 10 Coral Reef Town, using a whole bunch of Abyss Lord defenses. So got to love it. And we got another seahorse egg there, the old sea dragon egg. We'll take it. But yeah, thanks a ton for watching, y'all. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful start to their week, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.